Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the monsters of the Midway, the Chicago Bears, and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. With my good friend Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we have arrived at another new season. Had a little more pep in my step this morning. I know you did as well. Here we go.
Yeah, when you went out for your 5-mile jog, you were flying. You did it in record time because you were psyched up about this game. But let's be frank about it. No more radio shows, no more podcasts, no more just predicting what's going to happen. Now we get to see it on the field.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go now. 60 Pittsburgh.
Watch the pass. Watch the edge.
Ready?
They go quickly here out to Moore. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Operating from the gun, Black, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 40, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. And now out comes Minnesota.
Here we go. 18 Gator.
Get your swerve on.
Big grip.
On 1st and 10, McLaughlin. Oh, he's going to take a shot. This is caught inside the 15. That goes for a gain of 31. Charles, you talk so much about quick change plays. There's one right there. You get the turnover, and boom, hit him with a big one.
And defenses plan for this all the time. They work on it in practice. But in the middle of a game, when that quick change takes place, oftentimes guys aren't as focused as they need to be.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. From 10 yards out, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Walking into the stadium, we saw a ton of people donning the jerseys of this rookie quarterback, so you know they love that opening drive, and he throws a touchdown pass.
You get a little bit of confirmation about what they had hoped, right? Because they thought they had a quarterback. They're thinking they have a quarterback. You do this, they believe they've got a quarterback. Look up, elbowing each other up in the stands. That's our guy.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10.
Here we go. Set. 30 base.
Here we go. Tiny's Ringo. Tiny's on Ringo. Tiny's on Ringo.
Sit.
They'll run on 1st down. Holloway. He finds an opening past the 40. And he takes it all the way up to the 47. That good for 22 and a first down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now this throw caught left side. And he's finally out of bounds, but he's taken it all the way down to the 8. A big play there for Minnesota. 46 yards. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Back to throw. McLaughlin. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. From 8 yards out. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
And to give this time to the tailback. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. And the big meat on the D-line. We'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
Looking to throw. Black. He may try and run for this.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. He was a 3rd-round pick, not rounds 1 or 2, but this franchise, they think he can be something with time.
There were a few teams that thought he would go in the first round, late in the first round. He ends up sliding to the 3rd. So a lot of teams think now maybe this group got a steal. They've got a chance to have a really good player here if he can develop.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 26. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Back to throw. McLaughlin. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, you got a receiver here who's got one touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. On first down, McLaughlin to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. From 6 yards away. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Yeah, he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Touchdown, Vikings. The kicker on for the point after.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And now a shot into coverage downfield is complete. 20, 10, and he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about. A costly penalty there. A lineman got downfield, and for the moment, that cost him 6 points. On 2nd down, it's Holloway. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Gets it to Meredith, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Black, complete to Washington. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Now a first carry for their fullback. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6. The Bears on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Black. That one is caught by Hunt. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the first down. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but they're kicking.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. Throwing on first down. McLaughlin. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. How about the rookie in his NFL debut? Looking sharp. It's 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, he's been the guy, already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Here's a 2nd and 7. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
From the gun on 3rd down, McLaughlin. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and... All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the 2nd half.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. He's going to fire one deep left sideline, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. McLaughlin. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Looking to throw. McLaughlin. Throw left side complete. It's Knight. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the 1st down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the 1st. From the gun, McLaughlin. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards there, 1st down Vikings. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. 23 yards for the touchdown as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Off play action. Black out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a 1st down.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a 1st down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 39-yard line.
They'll keep it on the ground. Holloway. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8. On 3rd down, Black. Washington's got it. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 30 yards there, and of course the first down as well. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They run the counter. It's Holloway. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now a throw here on 2nd down, and that's complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 15-yard line. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down. The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is blitz coming, and down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Let's go.
The Vikings now heading onto the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout.
There he goes, left side. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Brutal, so take away the long touchdown.
It's a cruel game sometimes, partner.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. And throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 85 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want, but there carries a little extra pressure with that as well because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, 2 sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because
the Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been...
And now nothing but green ahead of him. The 40, the 30. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 69 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. They run the counter. Holloway. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Holloway. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off down at the 2. And now look at him go. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. From the gun on third down. Black. And he's got his target. That's Moore. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
Well, I do have one word for that touchdown for you, partner. You ready?
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
Just makes things look a little better. I don't know. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, too. And the pig doesn't like the lipstick a heck of a lot, but you do like the fact that they're battling down the stretch, still trying to put something on the board, even though this game is over.
By the way, how rude is that to the pig? Look at all the things they give us. Pulled pork, bacon. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now defensively they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. That one looks like he'll throw here. For the left side, it's complete. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe. They're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for...
And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the fourth quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like fourth quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And those numbers, they kind of tell the story of his game so far. Started off not so hot. Now he's really heated up.
And remember, he signed up for duty as the guy who leads the team, right? The field general, the signal caller. So when things go rocky early, he can't just exit out and ask someone else to pick things up. He's got to do it himself, and that's what...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, that allows your blitzers to get there.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. But it's brought in by Washington. And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win them the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and that will get them one closer. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play, but still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah. It's silly. It's silly.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I know that people have explained before, well, you got to play it all the way through. Come on, this thing was done.
So for the Vikings, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they'll get to stay home again next week.